Hey, we get a lot of questions about mounting one of our VFGs to an M-LOK tube. Whenever the VFG was originally brought out, we said includes hardware for tubular rails and Keymod rails. That was before M-LOK. So we're using the weld nut and the screw that we would use to put on a slick rail like one of the old Troy handguards with the circles. So that's basically the same thing. It's not going to use official M-LOK hardware, but it goes on rock solid. Alright, so the VFG, you're going to take the 1032 socket head and the washer that goes with it. Get that washer on there. We're doing this to kind of stage the setup because we're going to need our other hands to do something else. So just get it in there, have her set up there ready to go. We're going to take our weld nut, and essentially what we're going to do is we're going to get it inside the rail, and we're going to use some other sort of tool to kind of hold it down. Might be a little tricky, but overall it's pretty easy to do. Alright, so we're going to decide which slot we want to put the VFG in here. We've decided on this rifle that we're going to go with this third slot. So I'm going to take my weld nut, I'm going to rotate the gun to where it's oriented to where the muzzle is pointed in the normal direction, optic is up, and I'm just going to slide the weld nut in there. Want to get it about right there. Going to use another tool to kind of hold that weld nut in place as I flip the rifle upside down. So I'm using this wrench here just to hold the weld nut in place. You can use a magnet, you can use a screwdriver, whatever works for you. But once you have the weld nut being held in place, we have our VFG that we've staged. And all I need to do is I need to kind of get a couple threads caught in there, and then we're good to go. You can see the VFG is loose. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to put some tension on it in the upward direction and start tightening. Once it's tightened up in the spot that you want, make sure it's aligned and in the slot where you want it. Tighten her down. VFG on an M-LOK rail. Speaking of rails, check out these guys, Tri-Arc. These guys make some pretty solid stuff. I'm loving this Tri-Arc Tri-LOK rail. So there you go.